Hello guys, welcome to another episode of Dr. Tabat Meme Sage, in which I react to certain memes sent by my friend. Each video has a particular theme. The theme of today's video is about doctor-patient relationship. I always look forward to this thing. It's the easiest video I ever make, and without further ado, let's dive into today's video. But wait. If you're yet to subscribe, please subscribe and turn on the bell notification, especially if you enjoy content that I make here. And to my returning guys, thanks. So the diving now resumes. Yep, that's Ted. That's Alice's teddy bear. Ted is joining me today. Alice is sleeping. Ted cannot say hi. Let's start. Don't think of me as a proctologist. Think of me as think of me as a colon tech support. Yeah, I would like to be like that too. Yeah, this guy is my role model. Though it's fictitious, yeah, but it's my role model. As we're going into a culture that is making everybody now more appropriate, this is like a dig towards that. So if you don't know who a proctologist is, a proctologist is a specialist, a surgeon usually, that handles diseases involving the anus, the rectum, the colon, those parts of the gastrointestinal tract or the digestive system. So usually most of their work involve invading the anus deep into the colon, and they could use their hand, which is digital. Sometimes they use equipment too. So maybe the word proctologist might scare the patient, and that's why we decide to colon tech support. It's the same work, different name, but proctologists are actually better known now as colorectal surgeons. So that's it. I like this. I really like this. Patient: oh doctor, I'm just so nervous. This is my first operation. Doctor: don't worry, mine too. Wahala. Wahala. Yeah, but the good thing is, in standard hospitals, the doctor doesn't operate alone. It's a lie. And even if it's his or her first time, there are seniors and more experienced people to guide the person. So it's not really as scary as this makes it sound. You would be safe. Every doctor needs to have a first time of performing certain surgeries, and that's how they learn. So calm down. It wouldn't be an inexperienced surgeon that will just operate on you alone. So no, this isn't as scary as this meme portrays. So the next: doctor, don't confuse your Google search with my 6 years of medical school. Actually, mine was 8 years, plus or minus on certain things. Patient: don't confuse the 1 hour lecture you had on my condition with my 20 years of living it. Oh, shot fired. Okay, I don't know what beef happened between these two people, Sha. But medicine is a partnership stuff. So in the first place, the doctor shouldn't have responded in this way to the patient, and then the patient too responded. Anyhow, it's not right. They both need each other. Actually, the patient needs the doctor more because the patient has a condition that the doctor needs to address, and the patient cannot solve this on her own, even if she goes to Google, especially if it's a surgical stuff, even if it's a medical stuff. So please understand that even if we spend 1 hour per se, which is beyond the training, we don't just sit down in the class for a lecture and that's all it sings. We have rounds, we have presentations, we do a lot of things to make sure that these plenty things enter our head very well. And in the course of training too, we learn continuously. It has to be integrated into our lives. Like, it's that important. So it's not about 1 hour lecture and then we'll just come and tell you, okay, the lecture we had before, this was how it was. No, that's not medical knowledge is. So I don't know, I hope they reconcile, sharp. The next, fitness experts say your muscles need plenty of rest between work too. Your last workout was 17 years ago. Wow, this is really plenty of rest. And it's important. You see this history taking, where we ask questions from patients to be able to understand what's going on with them and reach our diagnosis. It can be very tricky. So if you don't know how to really ask the right questions, you can be misled. So this guy obviously was saying that he had rested and it was 17 years ago. Oh, the life of a doctor. It's not easy. The next. Doctor, I have some bad news and some very bad news. Wow. The lab called with your test results. They said you have 24 hours to live. Patient, 24 hours. That's terrible. What's the very bad news? Doctor, I've been trying to reach you since yesterday. Wahala. Another wahala. Hey. Wow. That's really bad news. Okay, it's not like that. Usually somebody doesn't suddenly drop dead. This is not realistic. Most times, I can't remember any time that a patient has 24 hours to live that the patient will even be in this right frame of mind to be interacting. They're usually bad, most times unconscious, on some forms of life support and the rest. So this is just exaggerated, but no, you must reach out to the patient. This is not even realistic in the first place. We can't predict exactly when a patient is going to die or not, especially a patient that is portrayed in this picture. It's not true. I said maybe it's not true. Next, doctor, are you a smoker? Patient, no, I quit. Doctor, good. When was your last cigarette? Patient, this morning. Doctor, so you're still smoking? Patient, no, I quit. I can relate to this. So I had a patient like this that came in with some forms of liver disease, and from the history he takes alcohol. So he told me, he volunteered to tell me that he had quit. I asked him when last did he drink. He should be sincere with me. He told me 3 days ago. Okay, you will say we'll be supportive, like we should encourage the person. It's 3 days, yeah, tried 3 days ago. But quitting 3 days ago is not the same as quitting maybe 3 months ago or 3 years ago. So it helps you to have an idea of what's happening to the liver too. So many patients can lie. Patients lie. That was one of the bases for the house, which house doesn't even take his history from patients. He will just send his team to invade the patient's house to get their history. That's wrong actually, but when you're very, very accommodating, patients will open up. Next. It's normal for a man your age to have chest pain when he drips hot melted pizza cheese on his shirt. Yeah, this is the importance of history. A patient can come to you and say he's having chest pain, and in the course of probing, he actually dripped hot melted pizza cheese on his shirt, and that caused the pain, the burns there. That's the importance of taking good history. And these are some of the limitations that you would have when you're speaking on the phone. The patient will tell you he or she has chest pain, and you wouldn't even discover some things. You might be thinking of some very far-fetched stuff while the solution is there. You just need to see it. So this is me further telling you guys not to be asking us to diagnose you over the phone. Yeah. Next, resistance training is just as important as cardio. Okay. Train yourself to resist chocolates, pastries, fried foods, beer, pizza. This is deep. This is really, really deep. Most times, apart from drugs, especially when patients have chronic diseases, some of the recommendations are lifestyle modifications, especially people that are already addicted to very, very harmful lifestyles like smoking, drinking, unhealthy feeding, and some unhealthy forms of lifestyles. Those corrections are necessary. You don't just depend on drugs. With the lifestyle modification, it usually improves the chances of the person making better recovery, or it further slows down the progression of the disease. And it's something that people fail to realize how important it is. So I really love this. Not meant to be funny. I don't think it's funny to me, but this is really deep. So guys, let's start training ourselves not to be really addicted to bad stuffs. You will need them later on in life, especially if you're young now. The next, to prevent a heart attack, take 1 aspirin every day, okay? Take it out for a run, then take it to the gym, then take it for a bike ride. Exercise. It's just telling the guy to exercise. That's it. Same as the previous name. It's exercise lifestyle modification. So you don't just take drugs and you're still living unhealthy lifestyles. Doctor and physician are outdated terms. I am your biological tech support. Similar to our proctologist guy. Okay, if he likes the English, good. If it will make the person comfortable, good. So maybe I'm going to be, what name would I give myself? Okay, if you have suggestions, let me know in the comment section. For now, my head is just empty, nothing. Next. Doctor, please take your seat, sir. What is your problem? Patient, hello doctor, please can you give me a certificate? Doctor, why? I took 2 weeks leave in my office. They asked me to get a doctor certificate. We're not giving you. It's a lie. We're not giving you. Just go and explain to your boss why you left work. We're not giving you. And it literally doesn't mean the doctor giving you his medical certificate. No. It's just writing a sick leave for you, giving medical basis as to why you were absent from work. So if you went to take 2 weeks leave on your own, you're still on your own. No. Thank you. That's the best reaction I can have towards this particular meme. Next, I'll give it to you straight. This disease is almost impossible to pronounce. Okay, I get this. It doesn't necessarily mean so. Sometimes the complication of a disease condition is not directly proportional to the difficulty of the name. It's not. There are some very bad diseases that have very sweet names. There are some very good diseases, not too bad like that might have complicated names. So it's not really like that, but most times, I can understand this. Next. Okay, there's no next. We're done for today. As usual, this is quite straightforward. I wish I could just be doing this every time and not be... You guys get now, it's difficult. So what do you think? I hope you learned something. In the course of our relationships with patients, many dramas unfold. This is quite relieving. Most of them are not really funny, but I get the message and I hope you got the message too. So please don't forget to like. Let me know what you think. And as usual, again, if you have names, please you can send them to me. My contacts are in the description box below. So if you're yet to subscribe still and you've reached this stage, please subscribe and turn on the bell notification. Thank you, and I'll see you in my next video.